and we're going to be free.
I was a former construction project manager. Nobody who I know or interact with can say, "Coach, you never told me about Bitcoin," because I'm telling everyone. And whether money is your time, your energy, and your value. And once you start to ask that question and understand what money is, when you find out that people have the power to print money, inflate without any effort, like that's not right. What Bitcoin has taught me in the last 4 years, no school or university would have done that or been able to do that. Come to my meetup. So I host a meetup.
Okay.
If you're not too sure about that, come to a meetup and find out. Well,
So are you saying that the quality of the money influence the quality of life in general?
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, and I saw it in the construction industry, and it's not until I left when I realized the Renaissance 2.0. If we look at buildings built hundreds of years ago that people go to visit, in all wonder, they pay money to visit inside, they take pictures. Builders who are building now, in 200, 300 years time, I don't think people are going to pay, because there's no life, there's no aesthetic to it.
And the fact that you are still looking and questioning, like, if it makes sense, that's already a good sign, because I'm in finance, right? And 99% of the people are not questioning anything. Okay. And the spiritual component of it, like, we can see that you're enjoying yourself.
What is a religion? A religion is fundamentals and values and principles that people share and they want to talk about. So I'd be happy to say that Bitcoin is my new religion.
Okay, so my name is Appel GRATUIT. I'm a wealth manager, and I focus on explaining Bitcoin to other wealth managers. Today I wanted to talk with you, and we're gonna be free. Like, we talk for the time you have and about anything. So who are you and what do you do?
Excellent. Well, first of all, thank you for inviting me to have a conversation. My name is Coach Carbon. People that know me in the space as Coach, and I've just been enjoying the journey for the last 4 years since I've been discovering and learning about Bitcoin, meeting fantastic people like yourself, and just vibes and having conversations, finding out what drives people, what drove them to Bitcoin, and what they're doing in the space. Yourself, you spoke about your wealth manager, and you speak to other wealth managers. I've seen your stuff on social media, and it's great to see. I've seen graffiti artists, I've seen musicians, and now I've seen a wealth manager. People from all different walks of life have discovered and seen something, understood it, and are now teaching and helping others using the medium that suits them, using their passions. It's great to see.
When did you discover Bitcoin, and how was the journey for you?
So, like many people, and people in the future are going to experience this, I discovered it too late, in terms of it was like the third or fourth touch point.
Okay.
So I tell this story all the time. I was a former construction project manager, and around 2018, my site manager asked if he could bring in his gaming computer. I went, yeah, that's fine. And he brought it in, and he told me that he was mining Bitcoin. And at that point, I had no curiosity. It was like, okay, that sounds good, but we need to concentrate on the project. But looking back,
when was that?
2018.
Okay.
And looking back, I understand why, because I didn't have the time. At that moment in time, my focus would have been on the project, getting the job done, and then moving on to the next one. So the 2 hours I spent with him on site that day, we were looking at programs, looking at contractors. So we didn't have time to sit down and talk about Bitcoin. Then when COVID hit, I was made redundant. So I didn't have any work. I then focused on health, wellness, and fitness. But it allowed me the free time. And so when a friend of mine said, who wants to speak about crypto, he said, do your own research. Okay. So I had the free time. So I spent 8 to 10 hours a day on YouTube, reading, listening to podcasts. I mentioned earlier, it was Robert Breedlove's Masters of Slaves of Money, and then his later Sailor series that he did with Michael Saylor. And having the time to listen, understand, and then research from that, that's what I understood, or began to understand Bitcoin. Now, why I'm so passionate and why I talk about opening to people, and why I try and use everything I do to help on board, was because I want to be the person I feel like I should have had. Now, not saying the site manager should have sat me down, because I maybe would have said I don't have the time, but nobody who I know or interact with can say, Coach, you never told me about Bitcoin, because I'm telling everyone. And whether it's you're talking about the health, wellness, fitness, lifestyle, or your wealth and how you understand money, nobody can say I haven't to try to give them an orange pill. And the orange pill isn't me trying to force feed it down your throat. It's, okay, what is money? Let's have a conversation about what money is. Money is your time, your energy, and your value. And once you start to ask that question and understand what money is, when you find out that people have the power to print money, inflate without any effort, like that's not right. It doesn't make sense.
That doesn't feel right.
Yeah. And then you're led to Bitcoin because you understand monetary policies. And what Bitcoin has taught me in the last 4 years, no school or university would have done that or been able to do that.
Exactly.
But this has all been self-led, self-discovery, but the information has come from the community. Nobody has once said to me, you owe me this money for this education. It's all, this information is out there. I am telling you this, but do your own research. So when you learn something, test it out in the field, ask questions, go and see how it will fit. And that's what the Bitcoin community is. It is education, it is knowledge.
Yeah.
And knowledge is out there. So there are no excuses. People may make excuses, like I made an excuse. I didn't have time, but there is no excuse to not be educated on Bitcoin because there's no barrier. The only barrier to entry is your time, but you can spend an hour a week. If you spend an hour a week watching TV, you can spend an hour a week learning about Bitcoin.
Of course. And so what has been for you the reaction that you have when you try to explain this?
So it's been mixed. The first reaction when I first learned, I understand why people reacted that way because I was like a madman. I would send WhatsApp to my friends and family. You must watch this video, listen to this. And again, they wouldn't have the time to sit and watch 10 hours. But because my eyes were opened, I was so passionate. I wanted to share the information, but all they saw was, okay, coach is looking into Bitcoin and now he's telling us to watch all these videos. Now my approach is a little bit different, but also I've been talking about it for 4 years now. My business revolves around Bitcoin. People that know me well will know that there's something in it. If coach is going to Amsterdam and he's going to Madeira and he's producing podcasts and he's putting on football competitions, there must be something in it. So now
you lead by example.
Exactly. So now people come to me and ask questions. Like, oh, what does this mean? Oh, someone offered me this. What does that mean? Like, okay, that sounds like a scam. Okay, you should do your listen to this podcast. Okay, come to my meetup. So I host a meetup.
Okay.
Not too sure about that. Come to a meetup and find out. So the fact that I'm actively doing stuff and talking about it, I think people, it's proof of work, right?
Proof of work, and this is also skin in the game.
Exactly. Yeah. People see I've got skin in the game or proof of work. I've been talking about the same thing for the last 4 years, and people come for number go up, price action. Yeah. When I started talking about Bitcoin, it was just above $10,000. Okay. Now we look at the price. What are we looking at? Maybe 60,000. Yeah. Now I don't talk about price action when I'm educating, but that's what may lead people to come and ask me questions when they see, hold on a second. It used to be that. Now it's this. What's happened at that time? Coach may know the answer, and then we can have a conversation about it.
Okay. Can you tell us more about? You just said that your business is around Bitcoin. Can you tell us more about that?
So you see the logo? Yeah. Originally, the logo was red. Backstory: I came to Amsterdam with my son for a work experience. He did work experience for a major global brand who were based here. And he took a photograph of me because I was going for a health and wellness journey. Anyway, this became the logo, and I chose the red because I like red. Okay. When I started to learn about Bitcoin, I changed the color to orange. Reason being, Bitcoin is life. And people might think, oh, that's a bit extreme. Well, life is basically your time, your energy on this earth. Okay, so use that as the base layer. Everything revolves around your time and energy on this earth. Above that, you have your health, and you have your wealth and your lifestyle. Those things together you're gonna find yourself in a position, whether you're healthy or unhealthy, whether you're rich or poor, or whether you have a good friendship group, good social group, a good lifestyle. But if the base layer is wrong or corrupt, such as the money, which is Bitcoin, right? Everything above that will be corrupt. Now, we know there's issues with the health care system and with people's health. We see obesity on the rise. We know there's an issue with the money because there's a discrepancy between the rich and the poor, and people's lifestyle, the outlook on life isn't as great. We see conflict all around the world.
So are you saying that the quality of the money influences the quality of life in general?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I think for most people that the link is not.
They don't understand that. But once you see it, you can't unsee it. And I think it was, do you know American Huddle on Twitter?
Yeah, the businessman.
American Huddle is an American guy.
Okay.
He's been in this space a long time.
Okay.
And I remember when I first got into Bitcoin, listened to the spaces, and he said, Bitcoin fixes this, right? And he asked people to come online, on stage, and give him a problem, and he would explain how Bitcoin could fix that.
Okay.
And it was like rapid, for about 10 minutes. And now I'm at the stage where I talk to friends and family. If they give me a problem, I can say how Bitcoin fixes this in a roundabout way, in maybe a minute or so. But I want to get to the stage where, just like that, but big is the answer because the money is corrupt. But if you don't know the money is corrupt, you can't see the answer. So if you don't know there's a problem, you can't see the solution.
Exactly. It makes me think of the book from Seyfedin.
Yeah.
So in the fiat standard, it's basically like he goes and explain how every industry is destroyed by the underlying
corrupt money. It's incentive structure. And I saw it in the construction industry, and it's not until I left when I realized. And so we talk about time preference.
Yeah.
When I was in construction, I didn't have time to speak to my site manager about Bitcoin. Obviously, we were working, but the main thing was get this job done as quickly as possible, as cheaply as possible, and move on to the next one.
And so time and quality.
Yeah, is sacrifice.
Sacrificing quality for
speed,
cost efficient and efficiency. Yeah. And yeah, perhaps you can go a little further on that example, because I think it really speaks to people. Like, for example, if we talk about the architecture changing, it's mainly because of that.
Yeah, again, Stacy Herbert, Max Kaiser talk about Renaissance 2.0. If we look at buildings built hundreds of years ago that people go to visit in awe and wonder, they pay money to visit inside, they take pictures. Builders who are building now, in 200, 300 years time, I don't think people are going to pay, because there's no life, there's no aesthetic to it. It's just built quickly using maybe cheaper materials. Yes, you can say there are buildings that are built that structurally designed, they look good, but will they be revered in the future? I don't think they will.
It makes me think the first thing I take pictures of when I arrived in Amsterdam was the big cathedral, built perhaps in the
1800s.
1800s. Yeah. So basically, at that time, there were kind of a gold standard or something like this. Yeah. And so now we have buildings who don't look good, and Seyfedin didn't make the case that it at the end it even costs more to do those kind of fast cheap architecture.
Again, as I said, in the construction industry that I was get it done quick, move on, and then you would maybe have to go back and sort something out. We had contracts with certain institutions, a major university, and I would do a job, a refurb job, and maybe 4 or 5 years later, a different company would be going in and refurbing again.
Okay. So it's another business, another contract.
Yeah, not because there was particularly maybe anything wrong, but they had some money, they had to spend it, and they moved people out, and they wanted to, but there was nothing that was built to last. It was like fast money, right? Have the money now, spend it, and move on. And it does create an economy, but it's a false economy.
It's a false.
Yeah.
And so you've been able to see that as well in other industries, like health, for example.
Yeah, in the food industry, we look at the food pyramid, the foods people are eating, the food that people are advised to eat by governments. And then when you break it down, the quality of the food that's being produced, and the cost of the quality food, certain demographics can't afford that. So what do? They go for the cheaper option.
Yeah.
Then their health deteriorates, and it's a vicious cycle. How do you break that? You break it with the education, but if you have the education without the finance,
you can't do anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So again, Bitcoin fixes this, because with the Bitcoin education, lifestyle's going to change. But then obviously, if you understand Bitcoin, the whole Bitcoin, saving it, you are saving protecting your purchasing power for the future.
Okay. I saw in your Instagram story, I think it was yesterday, that you consider yourself a triple maxi.
Oh yes.
so
a triple Maxian mindset.
In mindset, but it's like, how did you build that confidence in regards to Bitcoin?
It's a belief in yourself, in your mindset, in your own education and studying. And we, as human beings, we like to follow community. We like to be part of a community.
Yeah.
And have you heard of Daniel Prince?
Yeah, of course.
Once Bitten. So many a time I've said to Daniel, I was like, Daniel, I feel like we're in an echo chamber. And he went, yeah, you're right. But in this echo chamber, the echoes make sense.
It's good.
Because we're here now in Amsterdam. People from all different walks of life have traveled to be here. We've a common understanding of something. So take Bitcoin out of the equation. We understand something, that something is wrong. So we've come to speak about it.
Yeah.
Michael Saylor, billionaire, understands something the same. Someone in El Salvador, a papoose seller, who earns maybe £1 a day, understands the same thing. Is there anything else in life that everyone comes to a common agreement and everybody benefits the same? I don't think there is. So that's what gives me belief in my conviction. Someone hasn't just told me, oh, Bitcoin's great, and I've gone, yeah. No, I've done 4 years of education. I've done 4 years of questioning, is this right? But then when I'm listening to people and having conversations like yourself, like, yeah, this seems to make sense to me.
Yeah.
And I'm meeting with other people that have been in the space 10 years, and it makes sense. And now I'm meeting people that have been in the space a month, and it makes sense.
And the fact that you are still looking and questioning, like, if it makes sense, that's already a good sign, because I'm in finance, right? And 99% of the people are not questioning anything. Okay, so that's where it's dangerous. So okay, I totally understand.
But yeah, go back to your world then.
Yeah,
you speak with other wealth managers. What has the response been?
They don't necessarily take me seriously. Yes, like for them it's like, a small assets, like 1 trillion. It's nothing for them.
Yeah,
and so what's difficult for me is that, wealth managers and those guys, they have their own personalities, right? Like the wealth management and finance in general, it's all fate, right? It's all, you have to look a certain way, you have to talk a certain way, and it's value perception or something like this.
Yeah.
So, I have to go and come with, I don't know, like, I have to be passionate. That's for sure. And for the educational part, what's interesting is that I'm 25 years old and I'm speaking to a 60 years old wealth managers who have no financial education whatsoever.
Yeah.
And education is the most important thing. So for now, for the first few months, even years, it's gonna be 70% education on my part for them. So,
but are you able to advise your clients on Bitcoin to hold it?
Yeah, for now that's my main activity.
Yeah.
So I have one part where I orange pill normal investor, I would say, and the other part where I give conferences to wealth managers about Bitcoin. So that's funny how it plays out, but the cool thing is that Bitcoin is gonna win one way or another, and so it's a reality. You cannot just go past that. So yeah.
But what can you explain your rabbit hole journey? How did you discover?
Yeah, that's funny because I think we have kind of the same. So for me, the first podcast episode that I listened to was the Michael Saylor series. So for those who don't know, it's like 18 episode.
Yeah, it started off at 10. It was a 10-part series.
Okay.
Then they went back and did some more.
Yeah, and it's like more than 1 hour per episode.
Yeah.
So it goes really deep into the history of money. So yeah, that's my favorite podcast for sure. And for me, I discovered Bitcoin in 2022, and same as you, it was a moment in my life where I had a lot of free time. So yeah, I basically rent-pilled myself like you, I think. Read the books, spent 1,000 hours.
I think that's the proof of work, right? If somebody has done their 100 hours of education, I don't know anyone that's done that and said, "Oh, Bitcoin's rubbish. It's not going to work."
Exactly.
Yeah. And so when people question it or say it's not great or they don't think it's going to amount to anything, my next question would be, well, have you done 100 hours? If they say no, I can't value their opinion. I can listen to their opinion, but I can't value it because you haven't done the work. Yeah. You have an opinion on something that you haven't looked into properly.
Exactly. Do you want to share a little bit more about what you're doing with, like for example, tomorrow you're organizing an event?
Yes. So tomorrow we have the Bitcoin Cup, a football tournament, aimed for anybody who likes to play football. So whether you're a fan or you think you can play, you're skillful, come along. It's not the first one we've done. We hosted one last year at the conference. We called that the Orange Cup tournament. Orange obviously being Amsterdam, Holland, and also with Bitcoin. I was in Madeira earlier on this year with Bitcoin Atlantis. We had a tournament there. But previously I've hosted tournaments in my local area for young people. And I find it a great way to have fun, but learn about Bitcoin just through the terminology. So Bitcoin Ballers Academy came about after a conversation with John Vallis.
Okay, John
Vallis. He's quiet now in this space. When I started looking into Bitcoin, he was very active on Twitter. I'll call him an educator. He talks about Bitcoin a lot and on the deeper level, on the spiritual level. I was on a call. There was a 12 of us around the world, just a weekly call we used to have, and he was a guest speaker. And we had to introduce ourselves and say what we do. And I said, well, I'm an project manager into health and wellness, but I would like a Bitcoin job. I would like to give something back to the community, but I'm not an engineer or software developer. I can't find any jobs out there. He said, well, provide value in your community.
Okay.
And at that moment, the penny dropped. And that night I didn't sleep. So I knew it was football. My passion was football. My new passion is Bitcoin. I'm going to bring the two together. Okay. So Bitcoin Ballers was made. And it started as simply as an Instagram page. Okay. So block height 680005, if anyone wants to look that up. 21st of April, 2021. Whoa. I had an Instagram page and I was giving sats away from literally people that interacted with the page. Not many people did, but I persevered. Proof of work.
Yeah.
It was like an education and fun platform. So I would post when news articles came out, whether it was positive or negative, and I would have my opinion on it. Then I invited people to send in videos of them doing skills, and I would reward them for it. So we have a couple of competitions that are ongoing. 21 seconds to glow. So how many skills you can do in 21 seconds.
There you
go. Peer-to-peer transfer. How many times you and your friend can keep the ball up in the air. And then I linked up with Coin Corner, who are an exchange in the UK.
Okay.
They sponsored a tournament I had for young people in 2022. They called it the Bitcoin Ballers Winter Cup Festival.
Okay.
And we did another one a year after. But in between the two tournaments, we had our own football kit. And then I entered teams into football tournaments in the UK. And I've been doing that ever since with different age groups and been hosting tournaments. So the plan is, with the Bitcoin Ballers Academy brand, is to go to different conferences, different cities, and still enter teams into competitions under the brand, but as a decentralized team. So if where you live, there's a tournament and you want to play, we can get you some kits and you can enter as Bitcoin Ballers. So it's the ethos, the principles, the fundamentals of Bitcoin with Bitcoin Ballers. that anyone can be a Bitcoin baller. You on your own doing skills, you and a friend, or you and a team. So yeah, if anyone wants to find out more, just get in touch. Bitcoin Ballers Academy. Now, obviously, I'm Coach Carvin, but we are looking to orange pill the world through football. I mentioned before, people are using art, people are using music, whatever your passion is, let it collide with your incentives, and amazing things will happen.
That's amazing. And the spiritual component of it, like we can see that you're enjoying yourself.
Yeah,
like
it's a passion. So it's a passion project. I enjoy it, and people, I mentioned earlier about everyone coming together for the shared belief. People shy away from calling it a religion, but what is a religion? A religion is fundamentals and values and principles that people share and they want to talk about. So I'd be happy to say that Bitcoin is my new religion.
Oh, wow. Let's go. Yeah. So thank you very much. That was so cool.
Thank you for your time, and look forward to catching up with you soon.
That's good. Thank you.